Welcome, everyone. We will begin the webinar on aerosol product use and collision repair. This training will earn you 1 ICAR credit for non-structural. I'm Melissa Joles with RDA Impact. Dennis Beardsley, North American Training Manager, and Kevin Creegan, National Accounts for Saint-Gobain are your presenters today. The presentation will take approximately 45 minutes. At the end of the presentation, we will give you instructions on how to take the test and receive your ICAR credit. We are recording the presentation and will post it on our YouTube channel. And if you have questions during the webinar, you can type them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen, and they will be answered during the presentation. Now I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone this Wednesday in August already? Now August 19th. Pretty amazing. Who would have thought that the year would be moving this quickly? I certainly would not. So today, as Melissa mentioned, we're going to be talking about aerosol product use in collision repair. You will receive, or you may receive, an ICAR credit for non-structural credits, depending on your personal competency with the ICAR Professional Development Program. And Melissa's already handled the introductions. I am Kevin Creegan. It's a pleasure to be joining you this afternoon. With me, Dennis Beardsley, North American Training Manager for Saint-Gobain Abrasives. So just a quick little reminder, this training seminar is brought to you by the Refinish Solutions Group. The Refinish Solutions Group consists of the Norton branded products from Saint-Gobain, Carborundum, Ferrecla, SolarGuard, American Tape, the Vilbus products, and Lord Fuser repair adhesives. In addition, Hutchins Tools and Equipment just joined the RSG family of brands last fall, and we couldn't be happier that they are now part of our offering as far as our core brands for collision repair applications. We've talked about the title of the program today. It is categorized as SGPM 00004, and no start to a program would be complete without the proper disclosures. So I'm going to just run through that information for us all here today. It is a policy of Saint-Gobain Abrasives to fully disclose to all participants in this course that Saint-Gobain Abrasives is the provider of the curriculum used in the course. Refinish Solutions Group, an initiative of Saint-Gobain Abrasives, sells the products that are taught and used in this course, and that will become self-evident to you as we navigate our way through the coursework. Antitrust, we follow the Combines Act, which protects free trade. There will be no discussion on pricing, times, labor rates, etc. You will be permitted to ask questions either by raising your hand or via the chat line, but at no time will any of those questions be appropriate. Also, no discussion on how a particular shop or repair facility or company conducts its business, who does good work, who does bad work, etc., etc. So probably one of the most recent developments for Saint-Gobain is that we are now a sustaining partner under the ICAR Sustaining Partner Program. We support ICAR's vision and mission, delivering training and knowledge to every collision repair technician. We believe in doing the right thing for the industry by helping deliver complete, safe, and quality repairs to the ultimate benefit of our friends, neighbors, and our families. So the ICAR Sustaining Partner Program is kind of the latest variation that ICAR has brought to the table. Many of you may remember years ago, ICAR had a point-based system. So many credit hours would entitle you to so many ICAR credits, whether you were a steel structural technician or a painter, etc. About 6 or 7 years ago, ICAR introduced the Professional Development Program, the PDP, and each member of a shop needed to, at that time, kind of declare a major or declare a competency and register with ICAR accordingly. And then custom coursework was provided based on that competency from ICAR. After the PDP, again, the most recent change from ICAR is the Sustaining Partner Program, which if you don't know, you should know that all training provided by ICAR sustaining partners, such as Saint-Gobain, is without charge. There are no fees associated with obtaining credit for classes that are taught by Saint-Gobain or, for that matter, any of the ICAR sustaining partners. Basically, the sustaining partners have absorbed those costs, and so therefore we're able to offer reduced training costs across the board. And you can see some of the other bullets there: reduce school fees accordingly. We provide financial support to allow schools to run programs, but using our coursework, they do not pay additional fees. And finally, as a partner, we provide resources to help ICAR develop curriculum and deliver the training and services needed for safe repairs. ICAR is dedicated to repairing vehicles right or correctly. Trained shops are definitely better partners. ICAR studies show that gold class shops outperform non-gold class shops in terms of cost to repair metrics. Gold class shops also have the knowledge and skills that contribute to complete safe and quality repairs. Sorry, that was kind of a mouthful there. This helps reduce liability and expenses in the industry, and that, in conjunction with following OEM procedures, can really help keep a shop out of the woods, out of trouble. Supporting the Sustaining Partner Program allows ICAR to fully supply the information and training that the industry needs to perform safe and quality repairs. The end game is that it puts customers back on the road quicker, better, faster, safer, and reduces potential liability faced by automakers, insurers, and repairers. Everyone in all the stakeholders in the repair process. Let me go back to that slide there for a second. We are dedicated to repairing vehicles correct or right and providing the repair information. The education and information ICAR provides emphasizes the importance of using quality parts and services and OEM repair procedures. From time to time, I'm still surprised at the number of shops that I visit that when you ask the first question about how they built their repair plan, how they developed their blueprint for repairing the vehicle, that it doesn't include consulting OEM procedures, and that's really a very, very important part of the equation. OEM repair procedures change from one model year to the next, depending on materials and new developments or new modifications to a vehicle. And it's really important to consult those repair procedures every time. ICAR wants to make customers happy, of course. ICAR trained shops produce more satisfied customers typically and better metrics overall, and to include all the key performance indicators, key productivity indicators that are used in a shop. Testing. There will be a test at the end of the course. If you're paying close attention, you'll pass the test very easily. Passing the test will allow you to receive a certificate affirming completion of this course. Once that certificate is in your hand, you may apply to ICAR for the appropriate credit. I'm happy to add that most of that process now is done electronically. There's not a lot of paper shuffling between us and the end user and ICAR, and it really cuts down the time involved in obtaining certification. Passing that test will allow the student to apply for that credit of 1 hour. So no presentation on collision repair training would be complete without a reminder about safety. You know, probably 6 or 8 months ago, the only folks that might recognize the acronym PPE would have been people in the healthcare industry and perhaps in our industry, in the collision repair industry. But now PPE is an everyday household, unfortunately, and thanks to the pandemic that we're in the pandemic environment that we're living in. But in any case, whenever you are attempting a repair, make sure you're wearing proper PPE, practice safe habits, keep sparks and flames away from the area, avoid skin contact, wear gloves, protect your eyes, of course. And I say wear gloves even though you may never have had a particular reaction or allergic response to a chemical or a series of chemicals in the shop. Those type of reactions sometimes are, they happen over time, and at any time you can develop an allergic response to some of the products that are used in a body shop. So protect your hands and your family, of course, as well. In the event that you happen to have occasion to get eye contact, please immediately flush with water, contact a physician, avail yourself, make use of an eye wash station in the shop as soon as possible. The objectives in this course are going to be to talk a little bit about the proper handling of aerosols. We're going to introduce you to the 3 C's of aerosols application or aerosol product use, which are cleaning, coating, and corrosion protection. We've broken it down into those 3 categories. We think that it makes the most sense, and hopefully you'll find that to be the case as well. So I think this is your cue, Dennis, to step in and start talking about the actual products themselves, and I may chime in from time to time here.
I hope you do. I apologize to everyone. My computer screen will probably be delayed just a few seconds. There we go. Thank you. Proper handling, right? So we want to make sure we shake the can just like this, right? For 2 minutes, use it in a well-ventilated area. No, I'm not going to read the slides. Just make sure you're in the right temperatures that you can. Make sure, I'm in the Northeast. It's going to be cold here in about 3 months. You want to make sure that it doesn't get too warm or too cold. Okay. So if you can keep it around 68, 70 degrees, we're going to be in good shape. I know it takes a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's taking a little bit on my end too. Not sure what's going on.
It happens.
There we go.
We'll get there.
Should have.
So, got it. So to maximize the lifespan of the aerosol, right? You want to make sure you invert the can upside down and clear it out so it doesn't get plugged up, right? You want to make sure the nozzle is clean. If there is a little material on it, grab some thinner, grab our spray gun cleaner, wipe the nozzle off, right, like that, and you're good to go, all right? Again, invert the can, spray out some material, just to make sure it's cleaned out, and you're going to be good to go. That's something that's commonly missed, though, right, Kevin? Not inverting the can.
It is. Yeah, it is. You know, I've seen a lot of pretty drippy looking cans in the shop, and it never ceases to amaze me at the surprise that's shown by the technician when it won't spray properly.
Absolutely. So we want to talk about aerosol cleaners, right? We want to, you know, some of the things that are really nice about an aerosol cleaner, for instance, our surface degreaser, is I don't have to take wax and grease remover, dump it onto a rag. I've already got it loaded into an aerosol. It's going to spray evenly across the panel, and I wipe it away with a nice disposable towel like this, the Vilbus one right here. So clean the vehicle first. Make sure you take care of it with the solvent-based wax and grease remover, of course, wipe dry. Use an anti-static silicone degreaser. Right, we want to kill the static just to make sure that we don't attract any dirt. And make sure that you wipe in one direction. Okay, because the idea of the cleaner is it floats the contaminant to the top. You want to wipe it away in one direction. If you go like this, it just kind of smears it around, right? So if you roll it, so you wipe one direction, roll the towel, and go like that, you're in good shape, all right? Keeping it clean.
You get that, Dennis?
It's getting there. It's getting there. It's like a fade. I think they slowed down the internet today. There we go. Spray gun paint removers, right? If you put it in an aerosol, you can take a gun like this, all right? Go ahead and put, you know, an aerosol right into it. It's going to be a faster way to clean the gun, right? Because it's pressurized, right, Kevin? So instead of, you know, dunking the gun in thinner, we're going to put an aerosol into here. It's got pressure behind it. It's going to clean real well. And it's going to be a faster way to clean the gun, you know? So be aware of that.
That nozzle design gives you a nice seal too. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Little rubber gasket on there, and you shove it right into there, and pull the trigger, depress the trigger, and it comes right out, and it does a really nice job. Really speeds up that cleaning process. So important, right? Excellent. Aerosol coatings. So we have an array of coatings that are duplicating the colors of eco, right? And great picture right here of an e-coat tank. But if you damage or you have to remove some of the e-coat to maybe resistant spot weld, but then you need to put that colorant back, we have an array of colors right there, anywhere from black to gray to white to a couple olives, and they're going to match that OEM, right? So that's really what's going to be really nice. It can be used as a direct to metal primer, right? It has good corrosion protection. You just want to make sure you get enough of the material on, and then you'll be good to go. But that's really a critical time, not only to take care of those bare metal areas. But also, Kevin, if you have let's say a black E-coated part that you're putting on the car and it actually was an olive green, you need to change that color. This is a good way to do that. Okay. So I know several shops in my area that will do that. So, consider that as part of the process.
Yeah, and to your point, Dennis, a lot of OEMs are starting to get very particular about reapplying primer or applying primer on the inner surfaces and applying E-coated, the correct E-coat coloration on the inner surfaces as well as the outer surfaces. So we've got some great solutions here for you.
Sure do. I'm going to match that color too. Really nice. So how we're going to do it? We're going to use our cleaner, right? Our degreaser. All right. Bare steel aluminum. You want to sand that with at least P320 grit. No etch primer required. Direct to it. Shake the can thoroughly for 2 minutes. As you can see, apply 1 to 2 coats, 5 to 10 minutes between flash, and you're good to go from there. All right.
Hey, Dennis, why is it important to allow that flash time? What could be the result otherwise?
Great question. So if you don't, you're going to trap solvents in there. And trapping solvents are bad because all the solvent will leave the job. We want to leave it when it's fresh and not a few months later on. So, and if you pile a couple coats right on top of each other with no flash time, that's when the solvent will leave, is down the road. Yeah.
Good point.
We do have an array of primers for bare metal and primer surfacers, high build to acid etch, and whatever your need is, that we can we can take care of that. Weld-thru primers, all right? Great adhesion and inhibiting formulation. It goes to bare metal galvanized, all right? Both formulations have corrosion inhibiting agents. When you do weld, you want to pull that material back from the actual where you're striking the torch. And a lot of manufacturers are going to require you to use a self-etching primer, okay? I'm sorry, a weld-thru primer. So you want to do what they ask, okay? And it'll have great corrosion protection if you're MIG, MAG, or TIG welding.
Hey, Dennis, I know that you're a certified instructor for welding with ICAR.
Yes.
What is ICAR's position on the use of weld-thru primers? Are they optional? They view them as optional, mandatory? What do they think? So
ICAR is going to revert back to the OEM, and if the OEM says to use it, then that's when you're going to use it. I believe Honda just came out with something on using the use of weld-thru primers. I can't remember. I thought there was something there. Some manufacturers are going to say to use it. A lot of them, and a few may say not to. Just do what they say, and that's what we're gonna go along with.
OEM procedures, OEM processes trump all. Okay, got it.
Yep. So with the weld-thru primers, you want to clean it. You want to braid to 180 to 220. Again, apply 1 to 2 coats depending on how you spray it. Allow your flash times 10 to 20 minutes between coats depending on your heat. Film build, heat, humidity is going to change that. So, and again, remove that away from where you're going to strike the torch.
Got a new one here.
It's coming. There you go. Rocker panel texture coating. And this is something, Kevin, that's just not going away, and it's a great thing, right? The whole idea of it is to add a coating so it can absorb chips, rocks, and all sorts of debris that's flying around there, you know? So it's on the road surfaces. Sometimes you're on a dirt road, whatever. We want to protect that paint coating and really protect the metal. So the manufacturer will use a texture coating. And, you know, it's you see it right there. Durable coating that protects against stone chips, salt, and whatever else it's going to beat up on it, right? We have a great rocker texture coating, and you do not want to over apply this material. So let me explain that. You're going to apply a medium wet coat. You're going to let it flash. Critical thing here, Kevin. If we pile on 3 coats in one sitting, if you would, it may look okay, but there's a truckload of solvent in there, and that solvent's all going to leave, and that could potentially cause problems down the road. So you make it flash between coats, put that medium wet coat on there, and you're good to go. If you need more foam build than what our rocker panel texture coating can do, you're actually going to spray out some of our seam sealers in the fuser line, believe it or not, and that's going to look really nice. It's some of the trucks. The trend is to get heavy bodied texture coats. You can do that with spraying seam sealer, but majority of the stuff out there is going to be a rocker panel texture coating in the aerosol, and we can duplicate that every day of the week. As long as you wait your flash times, you're good.
I think it's also important to note, or worthy of noting, that the Revive rocker coatings include 2 different nozzles. So you can, you know, with a little experimentation, you can you know, duplicate a whole bunch of different textures and shapes and sizes of rocker coating. So, you know, we collectively would encourage a shop to do some spray outs, and you know, before they actually apply it right to the job, and dial in exactly the build that they're looking for.
Absolutely. Don't practice on the car.
Yeah. So one more slide on texture coats. Surface prep.
Mm-hmm.
You got that yet?
Got it. Just came through. Surface preparation. All right. Make sure it's clean, degrease, dried. Abrade, either wet or dry, 180 to 240 degrees. All right. Make sure that you have our etch primer down first if there's bare metal, and then shake it for 2 minutes. Apply 1 to 2 coats around 25 centimeters back. You know, you can adjust. The farther back you get, the more texture it is, the closer it is, the smoother it is. So it's kind of like spraying. But make sure you wait your flash times between coats.
So tricky question there. 25 centimeters. What are we looking at there? I'm going to say that's about 8 to 10 inches for those of us on the American system rather than the metric system. So how about that acid etch primer, Dennis?
How about that acid etch primer, Kevin? It's supposed to be, you know, it's designed to give excellent adhesion to corrosion protection and bare metal. All right. It's not designed to be over applied. It needs to stick to the metal, right? Ideal on cut through areas. Fast drying is going to get you through that. You know, when you say cut throughs, you know, gosh, anything in the front end of the car, you know, I want to deal with that, right? On the bare steel, aluminum galvanized, zinc, whatever you have, that's what you want to do and work with there.
This next slide,
here's what I want to do.
it's a primer here. I thought this was a pretty cool little image that shows microscopically what that surface looks like. I know it's kind of an eye chart on this slide, but it actually you can see where it's actually taking foot in on the substrate. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
It is good. It is good stuff. All right. You want to make sure it's clean when you're working this product. You want to sand it with 280 or P320 grits. Shake it again for 2 minutes. Very common. All right. 1 to 2 coats of it, and then if you're going to put primer, filler, or color, 10 to 20 minutes dry. If you're going to reapply, you're going to scuff it after 1 hour. It's not top coated. So really, really nice product here.
And now we're at the portion of our presentation where things get kind of interesting here. We have a complete line of material designed for corrosion protection in the Revive product line. And Dennis is going to talk to you a little bit about the products that are included in that category, starting off with rubberized undercoating.
Thanks, Kevin. So rubberized undercoating, it has a high use in the collision shop. The undersides of the car will have this from, potentially from the dealership. This is going to be a non-sag, high rubber content, black. It's going to match that OEM look. Nice for the wheel wells. It's fast drying and it looks really good. And it can go to bare metal.
It's a great sound deadener as well, and it's not one of those thin, cheap asphalt-based products that are out there. This has definitely got some high solids and great content to it, and I encourage you to give it a shot.
Meat and taters, right, Kevin?
Yep.
All right. This is kind of cool. Our rubberized undercoat, how it goes against the other brands, okay, in salt spray testing. So, I think the picture says it. I don't really need to add much to it.
No, but
the
the salt spray testing is a pretty key OEM metric or OEM test. Whether it's 100 hours of salt spray or cyclical salt spray, most of the OEMs are looking for some type of test data that supports that type of product, or to support any product of that type.
So here's one of my favorites. Corrosion Protection-Cavity Wax, right? Why do we use it? Well, because the OEMs want you to use it. It's a really important part of the process where till the last probably year or so, the OEMs want you to use this product, right, Kevin? Not only on a repair area, but also on new parts that you replace. They want you to put cavity wax in there, even if it didn't come with it. They want you to put it in there after it's painted. So, very, very important piece of coatings that go into that vehicle.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Dennis. And this product has really come a long way. I'm kind of an old guy, so I remember the days where the Z-Bart and Rusty Jones used to offer rust proofing services and cavity wax protection, and even some shops and service departments got into that type of installation, and it required some 55-gallon drums of material, long wands for application, drilling and cutting, and and it's not like that anymore at all.
No.
We have this down pretty much to a science, and the product is extremely easy to use, cleans up well, and in fact, if we can, I think we're going to try and do a little live demo here.
Little demo here. Little demo action.
Set up.
So I like to do this. I like to grab a high visible tape. I'm grabbing the American OM tape. And Kevin, I like to tape the end of the wand. I'll tell you why I like to do this. I do not want cavity wax in my face. Sounds fun, but I really don't want that. So when I insert it in, as it comes out, as soon as I see orange, I'm going to let go of the trigger so I don't get the 360-degree spray in my noggin or wreck my nice shirt. So putting my gloves on. I'm going to do I've got a little wand right here. Okay. So check this out. All right. Get the wand right in there. And I have shaken this already, and watch this. What you do, let it flash, rotate the wand, which I did, and do another application. And that's it. As soon as I see orange.
It's spraying that. Notice that it's coming out all around the base of the nozzle in a roughly a 360-degree pattern. And what that means is that you're going to get coverage on the inside and outside of any cavity area, rat run channel that you happen to be trying to seal out.
Absolutely. So two things I want to show you. Just wanted to make sure my wand, make sure you put some mineral spirits or unclean solution right down there. Just make sure you get your wand nice and clean, because I want to be able to use this again. So this, you see this material here that I just sprayed, and this I sprayed 5 months ago. Notice it doesn't move, sag, run, it just stays there. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're watching for Dennis there, I'll kind of wrap us up here on the cavity wax. Whenever you're using this, you want to make sure that you close the doors and windows to the vehicle, just so it doesn't trap a lot of fumes and solvent. Surface coated should be completely free of dirt, oil, and grease. Shake the can vigorously for at least a minute before spraying, and then make sure you have access through weep holes, drain holes, plugs before spraying material. When you use an OEM product, definitely, and keep it about 12 inches away from the work. If you're using a wand, obviously that won't quite apply. And if you need to apply a second coat for a little better build or a little more penetration, allow the product to flash probably for a minute or two before applying a second coat, maybe even longer. Clean the applicator wand after application, as Dennis has shown you, and you'll be able to use that many, many times over. And then finally, you want to make sure that you wipe the excess product from any weep holes or drain holes and plugs as the product is running out. Dennis, you want to bring us home here with the some of the applications and areas?
Absolutely. So, right, you see anywhere that's highlighted in the purple right there is possibly where that material is probably going to go. All right, depending, right? Your doors, your rockers, rear body panels, front fenders, hoods, you know, anything external. Okay, replacement parts. Okay, something you've painted. Most likely the OEM is going to want a cavity wax application. We're looking at a can per week per tech. 1 can per week per tech, believe it or not, Kevin. So having a lot of distributors through my doors here a year, I know that there's a lot of opportunity to put more cavity wax on these cars. How's that?
Yeah, one can per tech per week doesn't sound like a lot of material, but that's a lot of insurance and a lot of protection for a lot of work that, you know, customers are going to be really satisfied with in the long term. You know, if you get into jam, you have a question, you're not sure, need some help, technical support, it can be had at 1-866-879-3761. Our customer service line is open as well, 1-800-456-8444. We thank you for your engagement this afternoon, everyone. If there are questions that come up, please don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us. Melissa, thank you for sponsoring this training seminar this afternoon. And we look forward to working with you on additional virtual I-CAR training and other training in the future.
Great. And we'll let everybody on the call know about future or upcoming training opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for past webinars, and we appreciate your comments and your thumbs up if you like it. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Kevin. And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Take care.